Hello everyone, this is Chris Strong with Rapid Scan 3D. Today we're in Huntington Harbor, California. We're scanning with the Artec Leo and we're going to go ahead and scan some boats. Alright, so we've made some X's here, some patterns that we're going to utilize when we're scanning. The purpose for this is just to use the color for tracking. The Artec Leo is able to track the geometry and texture of a part, but areas maybe where there's a little flat area, we're going to utilize these X's just for tracking. All right, so when we're ready to scan, we're just going to go ahead and click the trigger and go ahead and scan. As you'll see here, we don't need the targets on areas where there's a lot of geometry or changing color and geometry. It's no problem. Areas where there might be some little less geometry, we can go ahead and just scan around there. As you can see, the process is very easy. Just need to move the scanner around, get into those areas. I can see everything on the screen here while I'm scanning, so I know I'm not missing any areas. And then when I'm all ready, I'm done. Just click the trigger and I'm ready to go. All right, so I have imported the data that we collected from scanning with these little red and blue X's, which are just basically cardboard cutouts that I did. We've used anything from business cards to playing cards to anything. This basically will just help to use the color for tracking. So here, I have the file here. You'll see the Leo scan here. It took 1,396 pictures. From here, what we're going to do is do a global registration. With global registration, what it's going to do is it's going to utilize the geometry of the floor, areas around the corners, even these little doors here, as geometry to best fit align these scans together. We're also going to utilize the X's as a registration process as well. So not only tracking color, but we can also now utilize those color content for registering and doing a best fit with those X's. I also pulled off the X's, which you might notice on the top right here in the workspace. It says Artec Leo, no X's. I actually scanned this whole area without the X's as well, and was able to get a good, really nice, clean file. I just thought utilizing the X's might help just a little bit. It proved right, but it also proved that the scanner was able to collect the data without using the X's. So I'll bring that up in a minute. All right, so once we're done scanning, I'm going to look over here and I see some exclamation marks under this error of accuracy. I'm just going to double click in here and look for those files. So it looks like a few files, little frames have failed. And typically, if you notice here, these are kind of like on outlying areas. They might be just scans that just didn't fit perfectly. That's no problem. I can move them to a new scan or I can just delete them. If I come back here, it looks like I missed one or two. Oh, don't think I deleted them. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete. So it's not deleting all the data, it's just deleting those frames that failed. All right, so if I just come back here, it looks good. You know, the data wasn't deleted in anywhere that we needed. And it looks like there's no errors in the deleted data. All right, so here I'm going to go ahead and do a fast fusion. Let's go ahead and make a quick mesh. All right, so that took about 2 minutes to go ahead and get our mesh here. And now you'll see you have some of these X's that you'll see in the data. But really nice, you can see some really clean edges here around these areas where the doors are all nice and clean. I did want to show you this. We processed the data without the X's as well. So let me go ahead and show you this. So here's this mesh as well. So this is scanning the same area. We just didn't put the X's down. As you can see, everything tracked perfectly. And we're able to get that same quality of data without the X's. We did those as a precaution. They can be used at any time on surfaces that don't have a lot of geometry or a lot of texture. But we just put them down there as well as for the purpose of scanning. I also did this with a little texture on here, so you can see the colors on here as well. So we just wanted to see what the 3D image looked like with little color content. Red and blue, as you can see, we have a little of the wood here from the doorstep on there as well. You can also see like the chrome pin that's on this door. So the next step here is we're going to bring this into Rhino. So let me go ahead and find the part, or let's just say the data. We'll open it up in here. The scan has been done in millimeters, so I'm just going to go ahead and click OK as millimeters. All right, so there's a few perspectives here on the data, so we're just going to go ahead and click the top perspective, and we're going to click render. This way we can visually see the data that we captured. So the first step here is we're going to have the layouts. We're going to create a secondary layout. And I'm just going to adjust the color here so we have 2 different layouts so we can identify each of them. And we're going to lock that first one, which is the data. So what we're going to do here is going to take some control points. And this process is really easy. We're just going to kind of click on the area that we're going to be scanning. And curvature-wise, I just put in here basically 5 millimeter. So what we'll do is we'll just start clicking. These control points now will start adjusting for wherever I click. You'll see on the curvatures, it will start adjusting in that 5 millimeter curve. And then for longer parts, I can just make them really straight. This, and then I'll click a couple more, 4, 5, and the second part I'll do is just click close. So what that does is it closes out that curve all the way around, and I'm going to go ahead and do it on this second door here as well. You'll notice I'm kind of doing about 5 on the corners, and then go straight, and then click about 5. Click one more extra there. Go around the corners, and then go all the way to the end and close. So now I'm going to do kind of more some like straight edges. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and make a rectangle in here. So if you just need some simple geometry, really all you have to do is follow the curvature of the lines from the data that we capture. Click 4 points. And then again, close it out. And you can see it snapped into that first control point. So here we're going to go ahead and do more on the outer edges. and then I can start here. So I'll go ahead and start at the top. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to go ahead and kind of follow a general line area based off the curvature of that of the data, and I can just basically click control points. Now, depending how you want to design this, you might want to do, something more fading up to the corners, or you might want to have an offset to the side. You can definitely do that. So I kind of missed some of this data in here. And then right in this section, there was a hose. What's kind of cool is even though the data is not there, I can still create those control points around that area. And I can just use the curvature base to kind of figure out where I want to create those points, and it will create it in there. So even if I didn't collect all the data, which, best practices would be to make sure we get as much data as you can, you can still create those 2D, or you can still create those polylines to create those sections. So all these points as well, I can come back and move. So they're not set in stone. I can always change them later. But for now, don't want to take everyone's time all day. We can go ahead and create these through. So and this is just give you an example of how this works. We don't have the whole other side, but here we can just create the polylines for this back area. Then I'm going to go ahead and create a circle here. So there's a little area right here that has a post. So this can be, a hole for the post. Typically you'll put like a table in this section. I'm going to turn off the data, and then I have the cross sections. So I'm going to highlight them, and from here I can actually export these out. I'm going to go in here and save them under AutoCAD Drawing DXF. And type in whatever you want here. So how about we just put in DXF file and save. So these are basically the polylines. These are DXF files. We'll just click polylines right here. Okay. And once you're done here, you basically can send this to a cutter, and you're done. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on the webinar for the Artec Leo 3D scanner for scanning boat decks. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach us at info@rapidscan3d.com or 562-912-3544. Thank you.